What's going on, guys? Ted from Immersion here, and it's been a little while, and I'm sorry it's been 2 weeks, but it's time for your D&D Weekly Update. Got some awesome stuff coming on these past 2 weeks that we missed. The huge news about Fathom events, live Dungeons & Dragons in movie theaters, the actually making up for the kind of abysmal Unearthed Arcana from last month. I take back everything I said, because this month, I think, makes up for it. As well as a couple other cool, interesting articles, so be sure to stay tuned. Let's just jump right in. Unearthed Arcana, the Faithful. But let's see what we have here. Did they give us any information? Nope, no survey results stuff. So, that's 4. 2 new archetypes. We have a new Warlock patron and a new Wizard one, which I was super pumped about because we don't get a lot of Wizard stuff. So, the Unearthed Arcana, the patron is the Seeker. This is based around the Greyhawk deity Celestian, god of stars, peace, and wanderers, and you'll see it's flavored pretty well. So your expanded spell list: Featherfall, Jump, Levitate, Locate Object, Clairvoyance, Sending, Arcane Eye, Locate Creature, Legend, Lore, Passwall. Not a lot of combat utility, but again, not every class and every character needs to be based around combat. This is an RP heavy, really good character, because some of these, I don't believe all of these are Warlock spells. I don't believe Sending or Legend Lore are Warlock spells, and those are fantastic spells for any kind of RP situation. I know I've been playing and running a game where, man, it sure would be great if my players just realized that Legend Lore was a spell, because the legendary things they're trying to look up could be easily solved with the casting of a spell, but it's just not anything that they're thinking of. So, what do you get? First level, you can invoke the Seeker's power to protect you from harm. As a bonus action, you create a whirling aurora of brilliant energy that swirls around you. Until the end of your next turn, you get resistance to all damage, and if the hostile creature ends its turn within 10 feet of you, it takes radiant damage equal to your Warlock level plus your Charisma modifier. Not bad for a first level ability, but it is only once per short or long rest. But good news is it is short rest, so when you get your spell slots back, you get this ability back as well. They give you the option to take a brand new pact called the Pact of the Star Chain. I kind of want to advise against it, but let's read through. The Seeker grants you a chain, which is kind of cool. Like I imagine like a Maester's chain from Game of Thrones, decorated with 7 gleaming motes of brightness. While the chain is on your person, you know the augury spell and can cast it as a ritual. It doesn't count against your number of spells known. Additionally, you can invoke the Seeker's power to gain advantage on an intelligence check while you carry this item. Once you use this ability, you cannot use it again to complete a short or long rest. If you lose your star chain, you can perform a 1-hour ceremony to receive a replacement from the Seeker. The ceremony can be performed during a short or long rest, and it destroys the previous chain. Chain disappears in a flash of light when you die. The exact form of this item might be different depending on your patron. The star chain is inspired by the Greyhawk deity Celestian. So again, flavor. A pact boon to get you augury and advantage on an intelligence check once per short rest on that, and augury as a ritual. There are no invocations tied to this, which is why, me personally, I would probably advise against it. It's not a requirement that you take it. It is good for flavor for your character. But myself and several others reached out to Mike Merles, Jeremy Crawford, things like that, those guys, and said, was it by design that there's no invocation tied to these pacts? Because, for instance, one of the big ones that I can think of is Pact of the Blade. There are 2 invocations that make that a drastically better pact if that's your route. Attacking twice instead of once and doing additional necrotic damage equal to your charisma modifier are big boons for that pact. I mean, Pact of the Tome, the ability to learn any ritual in the game, fantastic. Pact of the Star Chain, you don't get any of that. So, something to think about. This one is a big one. Or is this... no, it's the higher level. 6th level, you gain the ability to step into Astral Refuge. As an action, you disappear momentarily to the astral plane, taking advantage of its timeless nature. While in your astral refuge, you can take 2 actions to cast spells that target only you. After using those 2 actions, you return to the space you occupied and your turn ends. I don't know that, and I can't remember, and I mean, looking at these here, there's not that many spells that warlocks can use that target only them. Armor of Agathis is one that jumps to mind. That's a non-concentration spell, and maybe Fly. I don't know what 2 spells you would cast as a warlock, just straight warlock spells that affect only you. But it's cool because it breaks action economy, and anything that does that is really big. This could be a great possible segue to go sorcerer or something like that. If you are a sorcerer and you bonus actioned some spell with your sorcery points and then used an action to go to another plane and do 2, it's kind of a cool concept. 10th level, you no longer need to breathe, and you gain resistance to fire and cold damage. That's a really powerful ability, both fire and cold, 2 fairly common types, fire being one of the most common. Cold, not as common, but as far as monsters go, there's quite a few that have access to cold damage. And this is a really cool thing, the astral sequestration, I guess is how you would say it. You sequester yourself and your allies to the astral plane. By performing a special ritual over the course of only 5 minutes, you shift yourself and up to 10 willing creatures to the astral plane. While there, you gain the benefits of a short rest. You then return to spaces you all occupied when you use this ability, with no time having passed in the real world. During this short rest, you and the creatures you sequester can use any of the options available to them normally during a short rest, and you get this back on a long rest. So, you take 5 minutes, and you and 10 people disappear to get the benefits of a short rest, and as far as people on the outside, no time has passed. Really powerful for a warlock, for a fighter, things that get their stuff back on a short rest. But the real reason I'm super excited about this Unearthed Arcana is this Theurgy, I don't know how you pronounce it exactly, but this arcane tradition. This calls heavily back to the Mystic Theurgy class that combined divine and arcane magic in previous editions as a prestige class and things like that. This is a wizarding archetype. Super excited. So, what do you get? Second level, Divine Inspiration. Pick a divine domain from your chosen deity's list of eligible domains. Alternatively, the following... That was a really weird way to say domains. Eligible domains. Alternatively, the following domains are thematically appropriate and easily comparable with the Theurgy's concept. Arcana, Knowledge, and Light. I would advise you against Arcana because all the stuff you get from Arcana you pretty much get from being a wizard. Try to get yourself a different deity. For spreading out things you can do. At second level, whenever you gain a wizard level, you can choose to replace one of your wizard spells you add to your spellbook with a cleric domain spell from the chosen domain. The spell must be of a level of which you have spell slots. If you add all of your domain spells to your spellbook, you can subsequently opt to add any spell from the cleric spell list instead. The spells must still be of a level for which you have spell slots. They really missed the A's a lot on the halves. Otherwise, wizards cannot copy cleric spells from your spellbook into their own spellbooks. So, I highly recommend picking a domain that's going to give you spells you want. Because, let's say you pick the light domain. That's primarily heavy fire-based magic. Things you might most likely end up taking as a wizard anyway. Scorching Ray, Burning Hands, Fireball, things like that. As well as a couple others. Flame Strike is one you wouldn't normally have access to. But if you were to add all of those to your spellbook, now you have access to any cleric spell whatsoever. You could go for Bless if you want to give yourself some boons. You could grab Mass Cure Wounds to be a wizard with a heal spell. Or even the heal spell itself. Like, there's a lot of cool things where you can be a wizard now that can drop heals. A self-sustaining wizard, or a party-sustaining wizard for that matter. A really cool concept. Or, alternatively, go life domain and have a ton of extra healing. At second level, you gain the ability to channel the arcane energy directly from your deity. you can start with two such effects, Divine Arcana and Channel Divinity option granted at your second level by your chosen domain. So whatever the second level ability is by your domain that you choose from your cleric side, you get that ability. Again, for a life domain, that's presenting your holy symbol and basically lay on handsing out to a range of 30 feet as long as you can't heal them up past half. When you choose it, you get back on a short rest. Same as a cleric. Affects your saving throw, uses your wizard spell save DC. Beginning at 6th level, when you use your channel divinity, you get it twice, and at 18th, you get it 3 times. Again, that's exactly the same as a cleric. And there you go. The Divine Arcana feature, if you use the wizard one, is the next spell you, as a bonus action, you speak a prayer, and the next spell you cast is a +2 to its attack roll or saving throw DC. That's huge. Especially if you're combining wizard spells and cleric spells, and you can just add a flat 2 to your DC, that's big. Attack rolls, I'm going to say it's not so big, because there's not that many attacking spells. I think I did the math, and I think it's like 11. There's 11 spells in the whole game that use attack rolls, spell attack rolls. But, I mean, think about a +2 save DC on your Constitution save for Disintegrate. I mean, Disintegrate does beastly damage, but if they pass the save, they take no damage. Adding a 2 to that saving throw could be big. At 6th level, you gain your chosen domain's 1st level benefits. However, you don't gain any weapon or armor proficiencies from your domain. So again, if we're talking life domain, that's whenever you heal somebody, you heal an additional 2 plus the spell's level. Again, that's the one I'm thinking of. If you went Tempest Cleric, it would give you the ability to thunderously rebuke people with your Wrath of the Storm, or if they hit you, they take damage. There's a lot of cool stuff here. Also, a great way to make the Trickery domain super useful for a wizard, especially if you can make the multiple duplicates of yourself and use them as a casting point. Really big for a wizard. 10th level, you gain your domain's 6th level ability. The faith and understanding of your magic allows you to delve deeply into your god's secrets. And then the granddaddy of them all, mind-blowing here. At 14th level, you gain your chosen domain's 17th level ability. Your academic nature and understanding of magic and doctrine allow you to master this ability sooner than a cleric of your domain. So let's put that into perspective. You basically get everything they get. But I think the only thing you don't get is their level 8 ability, which is, I think, adding your wisdom modifier to your cantrip damage or doing extra damage on a melee strike. But you get their 17th level ability at 14. If you went Tempest Cleric, at 14 you can just fly. You just fly outside. As long as you're outside, you can fly. 14th level Cleric, if you were a Life Cleric, 14th level with this, you heal maximum. You don't roll, you just heal whatever the max is. It's pretty nuts. I super like this. I wish this had come out before we started back up into Jake game. I totally would have played this class because it would have been a great thing to have, a healer that can heal max at 14th level. Moving on. The Storm King's Thunder design thing at WeLoveFine is continuing on. If you have designs, be sure to submit them. Also, be sure to go here and rate the designs. As far as I can tell, there's only 2. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but there's this Storm Giant here, and this kind of pixelated one here. When I look at the site, though, it says there's 21... Oh, no, that's... Well, it says there's 4 designs submitted, but I can only see the 2. So if somebody knows what's going on, tell me what I'm doing wrong. I talked about this a little bit last week, but Wizards of the Coast posted an official thing on their website, so I figured I'd talk about it. D&D teams up with My Little Pony for this awesome t-shirt, which I did order one myself. On celebration of Friendship Day, Dungeons & Dragons has partnered with MLP to show the heart of both brands of friendship and magic. Not friendship is magic, and you can see the little and is the D&D ampersand. Hasbro will be donating the net profits from the sale of these shirts to Generation On, so order one of My Little Pony and D&D fans, blah, blah, blah. You can see here. Again, a point of fact that Hasbro technically owns, I think, Wizards of the Coast. Or at least Dungeons & Dragons, at the very least. So then they also own My Little Pony, so it only makes sense. It goes for 5 more days, August 19th. On the D&D podcast from 2 weeks ago, they had the folks from DwarvenForge, which if you don't know what DwarvenForge are, if you've watched Critical Role, you've seen this stuff for sure. It is tabletop terrain, 3D terrain, so you can be sure to check that out. And let's see, was there anything else? Matt Cernett and Chris Perkins tell us what you need to know. Lore you should know about Stone and Hill Giants. This is the big one. Acquisitions Inc. I'm sure you guys know who Acquisitions Inc. are. If you don't, search it on YouTube. There's a ton of things for you to watch. They also just started a new series, Acquisitions Incorporated, and I've been doing this entire thing without actually showing you anything. How about that? So here's your Unearthed Arcana stuff that I didn't show you. Here's the Storm Giants Thunder thing, that Storm King's Thunder that I didn't show you, the 2 designs. I'm sorry, guys. Here's this and this. The Friendship and Magic t-shirt that I was talking about. The Documenting DwarvenForge. I can't believe I did that. Oh well, that's staying in because I don't feel like doing it again. So, if you don't know what Acquisitions Inc. is, it is a game that's based off of PAX, Penny Arcade Expo. Started when it was only PAX West, back I think in 2008. DM'd by the masterful Dungeon Master that is Chris Perkins, and played by folks at Penny Arcade, as well as Patrick Rothfuss, the author, joins in as Viari, the intern. And they've been playing, then when they started adding other PAXs, PAX East, then PAX South, and now they're doing a weekly series where a new video releases every Wednesday. Well, this coming Labor Day weekend, there is that's Sunday the 4th, they will be playing live. However, now it's being broadcast through Fathom events at various cinemas all around the country. So, D&D, Dungeons & Dragons live from PAX West. You can go to... tickets can be purchased Friday, August 5th. I'm going to have to buy mine. Fathom Events. In addition to experiencing Acquisitions Incorporated in cinemas, each event attendee will receive an exclusive D&D adventure module. The 32-page booklet contains a 4-hour adventure where the heroes work with Acquisitions Inc. and include tons of DM tips to help new players. The best part of the adventure follows the upcoming D&D storyline, can be used as an introduction to the story of giants wreaking havoc across the land. Here's a video here kind of showing stuff, and if we click here, this is the actual Fathom events page, where you can go ahead and buy your tickets. I had Twitter open for a reason, but it looks like Twitter scrolled past my feed, so I think we just lost what I was going for. Sorry about that, guys. There's a little bit of a jump cut there. I've been trying to find the post, but I've been scrolling through Mike Merle's Twitter feed and I can't find it. Basically, somebody said, you know, hey, is there any opportunity for, are you guys going to be updating the Beastmaster? And somebody, like, posted something, tweeted at Mike Merle's, and then he liked it, and then somebody said, like, does that mean there's going to be an updated Beastmaster? And he basically said, wait for October? So there could be an Unearthed Arcana, possibly even a published update to Beastmaster Ranger coming out soon. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But I wish I could find the post, but I have to scroll through his entire Twitter feed to try to figure it out, and I can't find it. So, there you go. That is the Vault of Dracolich. I was looking that up for something else, so we're gonna get rid of that. Again, D&D at PAX West. If you're gonna be there, Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific time is when the show starts. And then they kind of talk about, there's games and things you can join the Acquisitions Incorporated intern program with games happening every 30 minutes. There's a 2-hour Storm King's Thunder experience as well. Hang out with Chris Perkins and the Acquisitions Incorporated. There's a little hangout here Saturday at 5:30 at the Wyvern Theater. And Ask a Dungeon Master with Chris Perkins, September 2nd at 5 p.m. the Sasquatch Theater. And then lastly, Scott Kurtz, who is one of the folks from Penny Arcade. He plays Binwin Bronzebottom on Acquisitions Incorporated. He is on the D&D podcast this past week to chat about what's happening at PAX West, appearing in movie theaters and things like that. And Matt and Chris on the Lore You Should Know discuss the Harpers and the Lord's Alliance factions in Storm King's Thunder. So there you go. Sorry, guys, the fact that I can't believe that I did half of this update without actually switching scenes. And then I had to cut the thing to try to find something that I couldn't find. I'm sorry. But anyway, guys, thank you for coming out and checking out this week's D&D Weekly Update. Thank you to all the new people following on the channel and people saying such nice things like, why isn't this channel more popular and things like that. We really appreciate it. It is nice to hear. And tell your friends. It's the only way we can try to word of mouth. Maybe we can get a little bit more popular. But anyway, if you guys want to check out over here, up here, this is Know Your Role. This is our weekly Tuesday D&D stream. We are coming up, getting close to our 50th episode, which is really exciting. We are just, I think, 5 or 6 followers away from hitting 300 on Twitch. And once we do that, we're going to be doing some special stuff, including a battle royale between the main cast, as well as a return to Jake game, the kind of follower goal-based game that Jake runs. In the middle here is your Kickstarter spotlight. This week is... damn, tabletop terrain? I really don't remember what it is. God, man, I'm really off today. Let's find out. This is why you shouldn't do videos this late at night. No, I'm sorry. This is about inspiration cards. Unfortunately, by the time this video is out, I think inspiration cards have officially left Kickstarter. They have been successfully funded, though. Inspiration cards were a way to kind of boost the way you do inspiration and hand out inspiration to your players. Something that I've experienced myself is if you don't give your players some sort of physical token or something for them to see that they have inspiration, they just forget that they have it. So these cards, it's basically a deck of 52 playing cards, 54 cards if you count the 2 jokers. And basically you would shuffle them all up, and then when your players get inspiration, you'd say, pick a card, and that card has a couple of things on it. You can just use the card as an inspiration token if you want to stick true to the rules. Turn it back in, give me advantage on the roll. It also has a numerical value in the corner, not like the 8, 9 of clubs or whatever. It has like a +1, +2, or +3. You can have them choose to use their inspiration to gain access to a +1 on a roll or +2 on a roll. Or each card also has something specific written down the bottom. Like you can instantly identify a potion, or your next attack does an extra D8, something like that. It's just a really cool concept. You should see if you can go pick them up over on, I think it's straight up off their website. But you can click the link here to see my video on the inspiration cards. And down the bottom is the Dungeon Master Guild Spotlight. This week is all about the critical hit and critical fumble tables. If you want to add a little bit something extra to your game, where your players, when they get a critical hit, it's something epic where they roll a percentile and see. Maybe they do triple damage, maybe they stun the creature, or disarm them, or something like that. But if they roll a natural 1, maybe they hit themselves and they start bleeding. Maybe they crit themselves by accident, or maybe they throw their weapon, something like that. It adds a lot of dynamics to the game. My players really seem to like it. There's a couple of other tweaked rules as well. I know it's been around, these kind of tables have been around for a while in previous editions. There's been an official one made, official even if it's in a supplement book for 5th edition, but that's the best that I've seen so far. I feel like they're fairly well balanced. Anyway, guys, you can click down here to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of these updates, because sometimes I get a little caught up in things and I can't get these updates out every week. So if I do it every 2 weeks, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on that. Also, I just wanted to say there's going to be some other videos coming out this week. I did finally film my review of this bad boy, The Tome of Beasts by Kobold Press. So I have my full review of that coming out, as well as kind of a sneak peek of the Book of Lairs and the Tome of Beasts Dungeon Pawns, the kind of replacement minis. So that'll be coming out this week. I promise I'm going to do the Dragon Plus article from the past issue of Dragon Plus. I'm going to do that this week as well. Yeah, and I might do a speculation video, because I have some good speculation. I think things we're going to find in either Storm King's Thunder later this year or in Volo's Guide to Monsters. I have an idea of at least 3 things. One was the Beastmaster Ranger we talked about. But another race and another class, I think, will be coming out later this year in that. I might do a little speculation video. So, But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great start to your week, and I will see you next time.